and you wonder why black people continue to be used as pawns. We're always at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to every statistical category you can think of. That's all 9 areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor law, politics, religion, sex, and war. We're always being used as pawns, you know? And as I said 2 videos ago about what Clockwork Orange, aka Donald Trump, continues to use black people as pawns, it's a tactic in white supremacy called racial showcasing. Racial showcasing. All right? That's when you dangle out black people, and our brother Nilly Fuller, our senior, explained it best. But basically, it's when you use black people as political pawns for the strategy and the maintain white supremacy. Right? So when you want to take any kind of black celebrity or entertainer or somebody of some kind of stature, you want to use that person to what? To identify, right, an issue that's happening within the political sphere that you may need this person has, right? Whether it be what's happening with prison reform. He tried to enlist Meek Mill. Meek Mill actually turned that down, and I thought that was a smart move about a prison reform meeting, right? You know, Meek Mill doesn't have experience dealing with people like Clockwork Orange. So meeting with him without any kind of strategy, without any kind of talking points, he didn't meet with him. But he still want to utilize his other hip-hop stars, quote unquote, to talk about prison reform and etc. and things of that nature. Right? But in terms of, like I said, in terms of and I illustrated this on my other video regarding racial showcasing and how black people are continuing to be used as political pawns, right? And shout out to Black Sports Online, and this is how I found out about this particular story, where Donald Trump's son-in-law encourages him to use hip-hop stars or rappers to be pardoned. Incarcerated rappers to be pardoned. This is actually via Kim Kardashian, who, as I said in my previous video, she admitted that Kanye West, or should I say Kanye West, right, is being used as a political pawn. Just like Van Jones pointed out in that interview about, she did an interview with Van Jones talking about the clemency of Maria Alice Johnson after 20 years of being locked up for non-violent crime, and of course it was unjustly. And I'm glad she got out. And as I said before, you know, it's very good for her family to do that. But again, what does this do collectively for black people, right? And it's still a chess move to say, hey, black people, look what I've done for this black person. I've freed him. I've done more in my first term, in my first year, than I've done versus President Obama. I've done way more for black people. I'm not a racist. See, that's the whole point of that. That's the whole point of that, right? But according to Black Sports, who actually listed the source of where they got this information from, which is from Vanity Fair. Quote, it says, according to Vanity Fair, Jared Kushner has reportedly encouraged Trump to release incarcerated hip-hop stars after Kardashian allegedly gave Kushner a list of people who she believes should be pardoned. Quote, they're going to be pardoning a lot of people. Pardons that even Obama wouldn't do, a source told Fair. Though the report doesn't name specific rappers, there are many artists who could have made Kardashian's list, such as Bobby Shmurda, C Murder, Kodak Black, and even Meek. Right? out of all the people that you want to pardon, Kim Kardashian, of course, allegedly, from this list that she allegedly gave Jared Kushner, lists hip hop stars, but she has no idea about the black political prisoners that are locked up unjustly, right? And of course, and I'm not, and even non-celebrity prisoners who are wrongly accused of crimes unjustly. So many people, right? But Clockwork Orange would never do that. I wouldn't, listen, I would not be surprised if he does, pardon people like Bobby Shmurda or C. Murder. I would not be surprised. And again, black people are going to eat that up. They're going to be like, damn, he's done way more for black people than Barack Obama. That's the whole point of this chess move of white supremacy, which is called racial showcasing. That's all he's doing. And Jared Kushner knows this. He understands the political pawn games of white supremacy that he's using against black people. And like I said, it's been happening since the inception of political parties. Black people have always been used as pawns. We continue to be powerless. Continue to be powerless. Right? And like I said, the in my previous video when I was talking about I'm kind of switching subjects here, but this all falls in line with the actual point of power and influence. Without power and influence, you basically have nothing. Without the resources that you own and control, you really have nothing. And I said in my last video, and that was the whole point of my last video, talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine and how he was able to land safely in Chicago without any harm. It had nothing to do with him having police, nothing to do with him maybe showing up in Chicago at a different time or whatever the case may be, and posting on the gram and faking his location. The whole point of that is that he has backers that invest in him, similar to Jay Prince, who invested in Drake. Right? His investors can do certain things that the average rapper who doesn't have investors can't do. Right? So you think a SoundCloud rapper is going to talk shit to some Chicago rappers, right? Land, right? Talk shit to Chicago rappers, posting on social media, but they don't have any backing. Land safely in Chicago and be unarmed? Be unharmed, I mean? Absolutely not. So because of the fact that Tekashi has, he has backers, he has people who are invested in him, he was able to do that. This was all a part of a marketing strategy, as I said in my last video. All a part of a marketing strategy. And these Chicago rappers were a part of that marketing strategy. And as I said, nothing would happen to him. Nothing's going to happen to him because, again, he's protected by a group of investors that understand what he can and can't do when it comes to this marketing strategy. That's what I mean by power and influence. That's the same exact thing that Donald Trump, aka Clockwork Orange, is able to demonstrate power and influence against black people by pardoning certain black people, right? Just for his agenda of white supremacy to say, hey, I've done more for black people than your ex-president who was black. And I'm not racist. I'm not a white supremacist. He's trying to play like we're dumb. And some black people are going to eat that up. They're going to eat that shit up. Yeah, man, Donald Trump is all right. He's all right. He's freed a whole bunch of black people. He's done more than Barack Obama, than Bill Clinton, and all these liberals. And for the record, I'm not a liberal or conservative. I'm independent. I've been independent since day one. So I'm not affiliated with any political party. The only political party that black people need to be in is our own. Just like our brother Dr. Claude Anderson said, which I totally agree with, black people need to start our own political party. We don't need to be Democrats. We don't need to be conservatives. We need our own political party. Point blank and simple. That's what we need. So, like I said with this article, family, this continues to be an agenda of a white supremacist-led strategy for racial showcasing by trying to free or pardon incarcerated rappers just to prove an agenda, like I said, of letting you know that Donald Trump is not a racist. He's done more for black people than your past liberal presidents and the one that looked like you, which is Barack Obama. That is the whole point of him being encouraged to free these rappers. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. All right. So anyway, those are my thoughts about this story, family. I'll have the link to Black Sports Online for this article, as well as the original source, Vanity Fair. Link is in the description. Make sure you follow me on social media at GMOG Media TV. All links are down below in the description. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit that bell notification icon, and also subscribe to my other YouTube channel, GMOG Sports TV. All right, family, until next time, Chauncey, a.k.a. the Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.